Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सखगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सखगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we have successfully finished 19 slokas in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. So here Krishna is teaching us about Krishna is answering Arjuna's questions. Arjuna asked the question about Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnam Evacha Yetat Veditum Ichami Jnanam Nyayam Cha Kesava. So we already know about what is Prakriti, what is Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana and Nyaya. And now Krishna is going to teach us about Prakriti and Purusha. So we know our material body is made up of 24 elements of material nature. So in that, the main 5 elements are Panjabhutas, also known as Mahabhuta. So there is earth, water, fire, air and space. So in this material world, with our modern science and technology, whatever we are studying, everything is only about these 5 basic elements. So that's what we know. We don't know anything more than that. With our modern science, they don't teach. Actually, they don't understand. They don't even know if what is known as ahankara. If we talk about ahankara, there is no idea. No idea the modern science can understand about ahankara because it is subtle. It is very subtle in nature. So this is the ancient science. This is the time-tested knowledge. This is the everlasting science. This Bhagavad Gita, which is the Sanatana Dharma. So in this subject, Krishna is actually teaching us about ourselves, that we are not the body, we are the soul. And just because we think that we are the body, we are actually struggling in this material world. We don't do anything, and just because we think that we are doing everything, that's the reason we are struggling and suffering in this world. So how can we make sure that we don't think that we are the doer? So that is the goal of this knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita, actually, in Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita that when we study this Bhagavad Gita and follow this Bhagavad Gita, we understand that how the 3 modes of material nature are doing everything, and we always think that everything is carried out, everything is done by the 3 modes of material nature. We are not the doers. We are not doing anything. But we should be able to live in that consciousness with that understanding all the time, 24/7 in all our activities. We should be able to think like that. We should be able to live in that consciousness. So then only we can be, actually, we are eligible to free ourselves from this modes of material nature. The moment we think that we are the doer, we are doing everything. I am doing, you are doing, I did great, you did wrong, you did nothing. All such things, when we talk about like that, when we think like that, so then immediately we are actually bound to this material world. Of course, we are all bound to this material world now. The very reason we are having this material body itself is a proof that we are actually bound to this material world. There is no need to ask for any other proof. The very reason we are in this material body, right now we are caged inside this material body. So now is the opportunity for us to realize ourselves that we are the soul, we are not this body, and we need to act in such a way that we should not have any attachment to the results of the activities and do everything very sincerely for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. By doing that way, we will be able to actually completely forget about this material way. We'll be able to detach from the material sense objects. Right now, our mind is attached and our senses are roaming. Our senses are going after the sense objects. Our mind is attached to the sense objects. But our mind should, what our mind should think, how we can actually detach from the material world, how we can detach from the sense objects. Our mind should actually think that we are not doing anything. Our mind should think that Naiva Kinchit Karometi. Naiva Kinchit Karometi. Yukto Manyeta Tattvavit. So Manyeta means think. One should think that I am not the doer. Naiva Kinchit Karometi. I am not doing anything. Naiva Kinchit Karometi. Yukto Manyeta Tattvavit. Pasyan, Srinvan, Sparsan, Jigran, Asnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swasan, Pralapan, Visrijan, Grinnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api, Indriyani, Indriyarteshu, Vartanta Ithidarayan. So I am not doing anything. I am not the doer. I am not doing anything. Naiva kinchit karometi. Yukto manyeta tattvavit. One should think like that and do all the activities. Pasyan, srinvan, sparsan, jigran. That means pasyan means while seeing. Pasyan, srinvan means while hearing. Pasyan, srinvan, sparsan, jigran. So sparsan means while touching. So jigran means while smelling. So like that, Pasyan, Srinvan, Sparsan, Jigran, Asnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swasan. So while eating, Asnan means while eating. So while Pasyan, Srinvan, Sparsan, Jigran, Asnan. So that means with our eyes while seeing, with our ears while hearing, with our skin while touching, with our nose while smelling, and with our mouth, with our tongue while tasting the food, while eating. So all these 5 knowledge acquiring senses, Pasyan, Srinvan, Sparsan, Jigran, Asnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swasan, Pralapan, Visrijan, Grinnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. So that means while going out and then Gachan, Swapan, Swasan, and while dreaming, while breathing, Swapan, Swasan, Pralapan, Visrijan, Grinnan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. So while doing all these things, while taking something and while giving up something, or while closing or opening our eyes and doing all these things, Indriyani Indriyarteshu Vartante iti Dharayan. Only the senses are engaged with the sense objects. So that's how one should think that I have nothing to do with them. I have nothing to do. So Naiva Kinchit Karometi Yukto Manyeta Tattvavit. I don't have anything to do. I am only connected with Krishna. Senses are there. Senses are going to see something for sure. When we see, we cannot close our eyes. We cannot close our ears or nose. So all these senses will be active all the time. We cannot stop. That means we cannot perceive anything. So sensation and perception. So only with senses we are able to perceive this world. But when you are perceiving, there only we need to stop. That's what is the very important thing. So with our senses we are perceiving. So with our senses means the sense objects. So from there the signal is coming to our body. So for example, if you are hearing something, so the sound is produced, and that sound produces pressure waves in the micropascals range. So that pressure waves actually it comes as waves, and it hits our tympanic membrane in our ears, and then it gets transducted and it gets into our brain as electrical signal. So that way the senses are coming, but while perceiving it, we should not be disturbed by that. Our mind should not go after that sense object. That's what is very important. Our mind should think that I have nothing to do with this. And when we are hearing, similarly when you are seeing something, so when the light hits on an object, so that it reflects, and that light comes through our pupil and it gets through our retina, it hits our retina, and then it goes through our brain. It goes to our brain through different nerves, actually different neurons, basically. And all this, basically these photoreceptors, there are photoreceptors in our retina, so like rods and cones and all such things. So that way, then when it goes to our brain, so then our brain actually, when we see something, our mind should not go after that sense object. Our mind should not think that, our mind should think that I have nothing to do with this. Our senses are doing it, but I have nothing to do with it. So that's what naiva kinchit karometi yukto manyeta tattva. So how that is going to be possible? Is it practical? How is it going to be possible? That's what is a very important question. So when we perceive something, how we are going to perceive these sense signals when it comes to our brain? So here only it comes this knowledge, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So when we study this Bhagavad Gita, when we understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, when we realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when our mind is actually attached to Krishna, our mind is constantly focusing on Krishna, constantly thinking about Krishna, remembering Krishna. So that way, our mind has no time to think about the sense objects. When we see something, our mind is very busy in connecting ourselves with Krishna. So that way, our focus, our attention, and everything is towards Krishna. So, mayeva mana adatsva mayi buddhi niveshaya. So you fix your mind upon me, you focus your intelligence upon me. That's what Krishna is saying. So when our mind is focused like that, our mind is very much engaged. It's engaged in Krishna consciousness. So that way, we really don't have any time or anything to think about these sense objects. So that is the way we need to stop our mind to focus on the sense objects. Instead, with our mind, actually, we should control our working senses. That's what is very important. See, these are all knowledge acquiring senses. The senses are sense of seeing, smelling, hearing, touching, tasting, all those things are jnanendriyas. So knowledge acquiring senses. Through knowledge acquiring senses, you are interacting with this material world. So we are seeing these sense objects. But our mind should not go after those sense objects. Our mind should be able to control our karmendriyas. Karmendriyas means our working senses, our legs, our hands, and our voice, anus, and genital. All these things, our mind should be able to control the karmendriyas. So, yastvindriyani manasa niyamya arabate arjuna. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya arabate arjuna means our mind, instead of thinking about sense objects, karmendriyani samyamya aste manasa smaran indriyatan vimudatma vidyachara sauchyate. So we'll try to restrain, we'll try to control our senses, our working senses. But if our mind thinks about the sense objects, yastvindriyani manasa niyamya arabate arjuna. There is karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasa smaran. Manasa smaran means if the mind remembers, if the mind thinks about the sense objects, indriyatan. Indriyatan means sense objects. So then we are fools, vimudatma. So then Midyachara Sauchari, he is called as a pretender. Whereas If our mind, we are able to control our working senses when we see the sense objects, when we interact with, when we get in contact with the sense objects, if our mind actually sees only connected with Krishna, if we are able to control our working senses, so that is what is known as Karma Yoga. Karmendregi Karma Yogam Asaktaga Savisisyati. So without any attachment, so if we perform that Karma Yogam, so that is what is better. So now we understand. We understand about the Jnana Indriyas. We understand about the Karma Indriyas. So how? So Krishna is teaching us that when the Jnana Indriyas are engaging with the sense objects, so our Karmendriyas should be under the control of the mind, because our mind should only focus on Krishna, and we should engage all our senses, all our working senses in the service of Krishna. So then we really don't have any time to focus on those material sense objects. Our mind is not going to think about those material sense objects. If our mind thinks about the material sense objects, then the problem starts. So then everything is going to be in trouble. So then we will develop attachment. From such attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger arises. From anger, delusion arises. From delusion, memory is bewildered. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसक संगस्ते सुपजायते संगात् संजायते कामग कामात् क्रोधो अभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So that's what will happen if our mind thinks about the material sense objects. So our mind should not think. So that's why we need to constantly make sure, we need to keep our mind engaged in always remembering Krishna. That is the reason Krishna is repeatedly teaching us in Bhagavad Gita that you fix your mind upon me, you focus your intelligence upon me, you offer your mind and intelligence unto me, you always think about me. Ananyas chintayanto mam yejanaha paryupasate tesam nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So all the time you think about me, focus your mind upon me. Don't think about anything else in this material world. So don't worry about anything. I will take care of you. I will give you what you need. That's what Krishna is saying. We all can experience actually when we just follow Krishna's instructions. So all our needs are fulfilled by Krishna's mercy. Krishna really takes care of us. So that's what is very important. That is the reason repeatedly Krishna is asking us to focus, fix our mind on Krishna. So that's why this chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a very, very practical process Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita to control our mind, to focus our mind on Krishna, so that our mind is actually not carried away by these sense objects, because the senses are so strong and impetuous that they forcibly carry away the mind. Indriya yatatohi api kaunteya purusasya vipaschitaga indriyani pramatini haranti prashabam mana. So that's what all about this Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is teaching us only about this. Control your mind, make your mind very peaceful and lead a blissful life and fix your mind upon me, focus. So this is a science. And this is applicable to everyone, irrespective of any religion. This Bhagavad Gita is a science. This mind, leading a peaceful life and controlling our mind and making our mind as our best friend. So this is very, very important. So that way, with this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we really understand that three modes of material nature, that is the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, they are actually controlling us. So now we need to free ourselves from that control. For that, we need to surrender unto Krishna. That is the only way to free ourselves from the three modes of material nature. There is simply no other way. If we don't surrender ourselves unto Krishna out of love and devotion, so that means we have so much of ahankara. So that's why if we are envious of Krishna, if we have so much of ahankara, so if you think that I am great, I can do anything and everything. So that is ahankara. So that is fools. So Krishna is saying that such fools, they will struggle and suffer in this material world. Krishna wants us to be intelligent and get this knowledge and focus on Krishna. So we are very fortunate. Krishna has given us this opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita, which we are studying every day. We are making continuous progress, and we finished 19 slokas in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So today we are going to start studying from the 20th sloka onwards. Krishna is going to teach us more about the Prakriti and Purusha. We have studied about the jnana, kshetra, kshetrajna, jnana, jnaya. So that's what in the sloka, what we studied in the 19th sloka yesterday, Krishna said that, iti kshetram tatha jnanam jnayam choktam samasataha madbhaktaya etat vijnaya madbhavaya upapatyate. So this is what is kshetra, kshetrajna, jnana, jnaya. My devotees, by understanding all these things, will attain my nature. So that's what mad bhaktaya, etat vijnaya, mad bhavaya upapatyade. That's what we studied. So now in the next sloka, sloka number 20, Krishna is teaching us. Prakritim purusham chaiva vidyanadi ubhavapi vikaramscha gunamschaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. So you understand, vidhi means you know that, you understand that prakriti and purusha, they are anadi. So anadi means they have no beginning. Of course, Krishna is the Adi, Krishna is the beginning of everything. So, but Krishna is also Anadi, but everything is coming from Krishna. The reason why Krishna is saying that Anadi means, like we study in the science, we study the law of conservation of matter, the law of conservation of mass, or the law of conservation of energy. What we study that the mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. The energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. That is the science we study. That's what everyone studies when they go to schools and colleges, when we study physics and chemistry, all these laws, the law of conservation of energy, the first law of thermodynamics or the second law of thermodynamics, all such things, we study about these things only. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form into another. What is the law of conservation of soul? The soul can neither be created nor be destroyed. So that means the soul has neither birth nor death at any point of time. That's what na jayate mriyate va kadasi. So that's what the soul has neither birth nor death at any point of time. The soul can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transmigrated from one body into another. So it's very easy to understand the law of conservation of soul. So like that, here Krishna is saying that Prakriti Purusha. Prakriti is this nature, material nature, and Purusha is the soul. So both you understand that they are Anadi. They are Anadi means they have no beginning. They are all the time. So that's what is very important. So Vikaramscha Gunamschaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. So their transformations are the three modes of material nature. So that's what Vikaramscha Prakriti Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. So that's what Prakriti Jayat Gunagi. Even in the third chapter itself, fifth sloka, we studied that. Krishna said very clearly, Nahi kaschiti kshanamapi jatu tistati akarma krit karyategi avassaka karma prakriti jayir gunagi. Prakriti jayir gunagi means, so they are produced from Prakriti, these gunas. The gunas are the part of the product of the nature, material nature. So that's why even in the 14th sloka also, the three modes of material nature we will study. Krishna will say that Sattvam Rajas Tama Ithi Gunaha Prakriti Sambhavaha Nibandhandi Mahabhago Dege Dehinam Avyayam. The Sattva, Raja and Tama Gunas, the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, they are produced by Prakriti. Prakriti Sambhavaga. So, but they bind the soul into the material body. Nibandhandi Mahabhago Dege Dehinam Avyayam. These three modes of material nature which are binding the soul into this material body. So now we need to free ourselves from the three modes of material nature. But these three modes of material nature are divine in nature and it's very difficult to overcome. Devigi esa gunamayi mamamaya duratyaya. But Krishna is saying that mamyeva ye prabatyante mayam yetam tarantite. But anyone who surrenders unto me will be able to free themselves from this material modes of nature. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished this sloka number 20 today. So in the 13th chapter, Hare Krishna. I'll stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Timir Prabhu.